What's up, you guys? MxPx.com. We just went on sale in Vancouver, BC and Canada. In fact, I'll just tell you everywhere we're going to be, and then we'll get into some voicemails. Welcome, welcome. Go Seahawks. Football's starting up. Hockey's going to be starting up. I got my Violent Gentleman's hoodie on. Next week, we got a great episode. I'm going to have Chad Olson. He's the head coach and GM of the Bremerton Sockeyes. That's a hockey team. It's amateur hockey. It's really cool. We hear all about how it works and how we're building the community, and it's a great episode. I'm working on it. So that's next week. But right now, MxPx is going to be somewhere near you, I hope. We got September coming up real soon. Friday, September 26th, Bend, Oregon at Century Center. And Saturday, September 27th, Boise, Idaho at Treefort Music Hall. Okay? So we're going to be there, Treefort, and go get your tickets. And then in October, we're going to be up in Canada, Quebec City. That's Friday, October 24th at Théâtre Capitole. And then Saturday, October 25 in Montreal at MTELUS. Tickets are moving fast. Don't wait for those tickets. November will be in, well, we'll be in the Midwest kind of. We're going to be Thursday, November 13th in Louisville, Kentucky at Mercury Ballroom. And then Friday, November 14th, St. Louis, Missouri at the Pageant. It's been a while. We play there all the time. It's an awesome place. We'll see you there. Saturday, November 15th, Fayetteville, Arkansas at JJ's Live. Just heard from the Bowling for Soup guys. It's a great venue, great stage, really cool place. Can't wait to get there. And finally, Sunday, November 16th in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma at Tower Theater. Boom, it's a Sunday night. It's going to be awesome. And then January 2026, we just went on sale. Friday, January 9th, Vancouver, BC at Commodore Ballroom. And then Saturday, January 10th in Seattle, Washington at the Showbox. Tickets are on sale now, just went on, but don't wait. We do not expect these tickets to last very long. So appreciate you guys. We've got vinyl in the store at MxPx.com, 2 variants of our 100 and its direct hit is on the other side with 110. This is binary blue. This is JavaScript black. You can get either one at MxPx.com. Here's the front cover. Cool stuff. Appreciate your support and all that. We got grill stuff. I finally grabbed these tongs from my house. Got these grill items at MxPx.com. We've got an apron and steak seasoning right here. Check out the steak seasoning. Love this. Just sent this out to the KISW guys in Seattle, and hopefully they'll be grilling it up with it soon. All right. A lot going on. Just know that I love you. Let's get to it. Let's get to some voicemails, and we'll be on our way for the week. All right. Here's the first one. Here we go.
Hey, Mike. This is Brian from SoCal. I'm up in Denver at a Volbeat show, and it got me thinking, what's the biggest venue you guys ever played? How was that experience? Maybe the smallest too, but not your backyard. That doesn't count. And hey, back in San Diego, we need to get you guys over at Petco Park, over there at Gallagher Square. Some big acts coming through. Day to Remember, Turnstile, those kind of guys. But you guys can definitely fill that place up. Talk to management about that. All right, Mike. You have a great day. Thanks for keeping. Oh, and one last thing. Your guys' new tour coming out, or your new list of shows? Awesome, bit. Awesome. Can't wait to see you at one of them. Have a good night, bro. See ya.
What's up, Brian? Cheers from Cali, or to Cali and Denver. You're in Denver watching a show. What's the biggest show MxPx has ever done? That's hard to say because we've done some pretty big ones. When we were young was probably around 80,000, I would say. We did in Japan, we did Summer Sonic, and we weren't headlining, but we were like, I don't know, third from headlining or something like that. But we were in, I think Rancid was right after us, and then some really big band was after that. I don't even remember, to be honest. It's been a few years, but that was Summer Sonic, and that was, I don't know how many people, a baseball stadium full of people, Chiba Marine Stadium. So not sure what the math is, but I'm just going to say average 80,000 is probably the biggest we've done. Maybe 100,000 we've maybe gotten there. Now, if the question is, how big of a show have you done on your own at MxPx as the headliner, that's going to be a little different. I would say our biggest show was in Boston at the Half Shell. and it was MxPx headlining, and we had like 10,000 people there. 10,000 people. Yeah, it was a huge event. It was awesome. We were almost late to our own show. We were kind of late to our own show. We had a police escort in and out, to be honest. It was quite insane. Aside from that, I mean, yeah, around 4,000 to 5,000 is our bigger shows. And then our average shows are, I would say, 1,000 to 2,000. That's like average. Like almost anywhere you go in the country, maybe not the world, but in the country, in some places in the world, yes, we can do at least 1,000 people and up. So that's nothing to be bummed about. I mean, it's pretty awesome, but we're not quite at 50,000 or 80,000 per show. Like, who would be at 80,000? I don't know if anybody actually draws 80,000 headlining. But you bring a bunch of bands together and you bring a bunch of people together and you'll get like 80,000. Warped Tour was around 80,000, I think, and then probably like 30,000 on the guest list. Warped Tour Long Beach, that is. And it was wild. It was big. You know, was it any bigger than when we were young? No, it was about the same size. When We Were Young is a festival that's in Vegas that we played a couple years ago. They do it every year now. We played the second year. Yeah, good times. You wanted to hear about the smallest show. Let's get into the smallest show we've ever played that was not our backyard. I mean, that kind of counts, but it doesn't really count. It would have to be a show that was advertised and paid for. You know, there's tickets you can buy. And I'm going to go back to our very first tour, and it was 1995. We were on tour with Blenderhead, and Don't Know was actually, I think, opening the tour. So it was Don't Know, MxPx, and Blenderhead, and we were in Beloit, Wisconsin. Never been back since. Sorry, Beloit. I feel like we owe you one. But we played this pizza parlor in Beloit, Wisconsin. It was middle of summer, hot, so hot. We played in our underwear, in our boxers, and we were in the basement of this pizza place, and 14 people were there. I don't know if 14 people actually paid, but 14 people were there. I counted when we were playing. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4. And a couple of the little kids from around town came in. We just let them in because they're just kids. And so they came in and they started rapping. Beloit, Wisconsin, what's my name? You know, something like, I don't know what they were saying. But that was a very memorable show. And it was our very first tour in 1995. So we've come a long way. 14 people, 80,000 people, 14 people, 10,000, whatever it is, it's a pretty big jump up. And all I can say is thank you for your support. Thanks for listening to MxPx. Make sure you go add us. And any of the new songs we put out, please add it to your music library list, add it to your compilations, your playlists, your wake-up calls, anything like that would be awesome. Always love it. All right. That was a good little first question. Let's get to the next one. Thanks for calling in, Brian.
Hey, Mike. This is Brandon, longtime listener. We flew out and seen you guys with MxPx and Goldfinger when we were young 2 years ago, and that was amazing. I didn't think, being a poor kid growing up, that I would ever get to see some of these bands that, you know, I always heard on the radio or in these mixtapes and these, you know, burnt CDs from, you know, illegal outlets, I should say. And then, and I got my tickets to see you guys at the Mercury Ballroom this November in Louisville. I can't wait. If I can make a request, I'm sure you all have plenty of songs that you all are going to play, but Everything Sucks When You're Gone would be a good one. Thank you. Big fan.
All right. Thanks, Brandon. Dude, that is so awesome that you came out to When We Were Young Fest. I was just talking about it. Speak of the devil. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Sounds like you did. Yeah, it's just wild to show up at these festivals and there's so many thousands and thousands and thousands of people. We're not talking 10,000. We're talking 50,000, 60,000, 80,000. It's a little overwhelming if you think a little too hard about it. So I try not to overthink it and you just go and do what you do what you see and enjoy it. And that's kind of how I work those things. And it sounds like you did the same. thank you for buying tickets to Louisville. Louisville, it's been a long time since we've been to Louisville, Kentucky, so we're really looking forward to coming back, playing the Mercury Ballroom. That's, when is it? That's coming up Friday. No, that's coming up Thursday, November 13th. Yeah, that's going to be good. So that's my birthday month. November is my birthday month. So let's come celebrate, people. Let's do it. Now, you want Everything Sucks? Sure, I'll stock it away. I'll try to remember. I can't promise you that I'll actually remember, but I'll try to remember. We do that. You know, we'll mix that song in to our sets, so it's not out of the question at all. All right. Appreciate the call. That was awesome. Let's get to another one.
What's happening, Mike? It's Joe from St. Pete, Florida again. I was just working out the other day, and I discovered another cool band. I know they've been around a really, really long time, but I love the Distillers now. It's like I like working out. So Brody Dahl, I looked her up. She's really awesome. So I know you guys have toured with like Bad Cop, but are there any other female like led bands that you like or have grown up listening to? I think it would be cool. I don't know if you know Brody, but if you do, I think she would be really cool to have an interview with on your podcast or have you guys tour with her. But anyways, I was just calling to comment on that, and I hope you guys are doing well. Talk to you soon.
Right on. Thanks for the call. Great question. I actually don't know Brody Dow. Never met her. Seen pictures, seen videos. It's kind of a weird band. The Distillers are a great band. They got some great songs. They just never really came out and did it. I guess they did for a little while, and I think MxPx was really busy doing our thing at the time and just didn't ever link up. But that's a band that, for one reason or another, I honestly couldn't tell you unless I did a little research why they haven't really played shows. They've been booked on some festivals here and there and always have seemed to cancel, you know, well before they were going to show up. So, yeah, so I don't really know much about them, but respect. I mean, they got a lot of fans. I feel like they do. Now, of course, I love Bad Cop. They're cool people, and they're a newer band. They've been going a little while now. They have a new album out or coming out. They got a couple singles out. All Together Now is one of their singles. Really great song, really cool song. I love the idea. I love the message behind it. Now, other female-fronted acts that I really like or that I grew up liking, there's lots. I mean, the Sundays, the Cranberries, maybe they're not so punk, but those two bands kind of got me really into that alternative mellow music and just songs, and I like that stuff. The Gits from Seattle, the singer was tragically murdered a long time ago, and there's a whole documentary about it, and they found the guy, and he was just this transient guy, and it's a sad story, but that band was amazing. They were so good. It's so inspiring, and I got to see them multiple times in Bremerton and didn't know how cool they were. They were just a band that was playing, and you went and saw them, and everybody was hooked on them. They were great. The Gits, Gits. Now, I really love Tsunami Bomb, Agent M. Emily Whitehurst is her real name, and she does her own side or solo project called Survival Guide. And she's a Twitch streamer, good friend of ours. She comes and sings with MxPx a lot. So I love Tsunami Bomb, but I love what Emily does now with Survival Guide and all the things she's been doing. Agent M. Another female-fronted band, one of our favorites, to be honest, from the very beginning of our career, Dance Hall Crashers. Elise and Karina, dual lead vocalists. They sing and harmonize with each other, and it's wild. It's such a fun show, and if you like ska, you're gonna love it. It's like ska punk, but they don't really have horns. It's more on the punk side. But with them two singing, it is just so good. And they just played Warped Tour. They played a couple club shows recently, a reunion, I guess you could say. And Yeah, they're one of my all-time favorites. I love the Dance Hall Crashers. Really cool stuff, really great songs, and they've held up over time, and it's great to see them back out. So hopefully we'll run into them a little bit. We'll see. All right, let's do one last voicemail, and then we'll be on our way for the week. It's a busy week. Of course, we got Seattle and Vancouver, BC just went on sale last week. We don't expect Seattle to last very long, so I'm going to go ahead and say low ticket alert for Seattle. It's at the Showbox Market, which is the place we always love to play. And yes, it's too small for us, but we love it. We just love to play there, and it's our hometown. And I know it's not technically our hometown. Bremerton is, but we were just in Bremerton last year, so this year we're doing this year we're doing Seattle. Maybe next year we'll go back to Bremerton, whatever it is. We're going to always keep coming back to the PNW, so don't worry about that. All right, here's one last voicemail.
Hey, Mike, it's your attorney, Dan, from Ohio. Just calling in with a question. I was just thinking about how, I know you write a lot of songs, obviously, and some don't make it into the studio, some don't make it out of the studio, some make it onto an album, and you never hear them again. You don't play them live, and sometimes that's just because they were good, but not great. But what are some of the songs that made it on an album? You really like them, but you just don't play them live because they don't translate well live. So just some examples of songs like that, and maybe why those ones don't come across well live. Just some of that thought process, because there are some songs I know I've never heard you play live that I've always wondered if it was just an issue like that, or maybe they're just not as good to everybody else as I think they are. Anyhow, thanks, man. Talk to you later.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, Dan. What's up, attorney Dan? Call your lawyer. Maybe I should be calling my lawyer. What songs don't get enough love? There are songs I really like 1 and 3, that ended up on our Let's Rock album, which is really just a compilation album of B-sides and demos and things that just didn't make albums. But 1 and 3 is one of my favorites, and we don't do that live ever, really. I mean, maybe we have once, twice, and then we've done it at the live streams, which the live streams are awesome to be able to do these deep tracks because we can get to things we wouldn't normally do live on stage. So when you're playing a live concert, people are paying to see you, and you want to give them a good show. And you don't want to give them deep cut after deep cut after deep cut. Although some bands do that, like, I don't know who, but probably the Eagles. Or did the Eagles even have any deep cuts? Every song's a hit. Bob Dylan, every song's a hit, but at the same time, you can't even recognize the hits because he sings them differently. So people do different things, but in general, I like to give people what they want, even if they don't realize that's what they want. So, yes, we do play the hits, and when we have extra room, we will fill that in with other songs. Usually it's songs off the new album or new singles, anything we've released recently, that's going to get some love. Now, are there songs? I don't think there's songs we don't play because they're good, but they just don't sound good live. I think that's a Let's Ride. I mean, when we came up with Let's Ride and we were working it out, and that was going to be the single, or it was maybe going to be the single, I was worried because I was like, I don't think we can play this very well. It's got a weird rhythm to it that makes it hard for me to play and sing some parts of the song. And I remember Tom Chichilla, our management, saying figure it out, practice it, because that's the song. So, and kind of the same you could say for Stay Up All Night. We had to practice that a lot because we'd screw it up a lot. It's just a different kind of song than we normally would release. So those songs we just practice a lot and play them. We don't shy away if it's awkward. If it's a good song, we're gonna play it. Now there are songs that don't sound as good live as they do on the recording. That's true. I don't know what songs those are. You'd have to give me some examples, and I would say yes or no. But I'm going to try to give you at least 1 or 2 other songs that I feel like don't get enough love because they're just not popular. You could say, you could say Moments Like This. That's a song that I would love to play every night at a show, and that's off our self-titled album. But we just can't, because there's so many other songs that people want to hear. So now and again, we'll put that in. There's older songs like that, Misplaced Memories. People often want to hear that, but it's really kind of a deep track. People kind of know it, but are people going to go off for that song? I don't know. Not really, but it's a good song. It's a great song. It's just a little all over the place. Yeah, there's songs like that, but for the most part, honestly, I think times are changing a little bit where people don't want 20 songs on an album. They do not. I mean, there's a few of you that probably do, but I think I truly am on board with less is more. There's just so much music out there, and it's hard enough sometimes to get people to listen to one song. You release a single, one song, this 100. Now, is everybody listening to this? No, there's a lot of people listening to it. Thank you. But I mean, it's not like our biggest song or anything, and it's our newest one. So yeah, not everybody's gonna listen to everything, but we appreciate you when you do. We really do. So I just, I don't even remember what I was exactly gonna say, but we've got songs that we wish we could play every night, but there's just too many songs. And so, like I was saying again, and now I remember what I was talking about. I was talking about times are changing, and not everybody wants 20 songs plus on a record. And I don't think I do either. I want to pare it down a little bit and just have, and it's not because every song has to be good, because yes, every song has to be good no matter what. Even if you put 20 songs on a record, those songs have to be good. But it's just harder to make them all flow together and feel like a cohesive album the more you put on. It starts feeling like leftovers at some point. So it doesn't matter how good a song is, it will feel like a leftover. It will. It's just the way the world works. And I think I've talked about this before, where I was talking about songs that don't get put on records and why and how. And oftentimes you'll hear a song that's a B-side from an album session, and you'll be like, that's a great song. That's a great song. Why is that not on the record? And I think usually it's just because there was just nowhere to put it. We just didn't find a place where it fit. And it has to really flow from the first song to the very last song. And if it doesn't do that, usually that song's got to come out. Now, you remember quite a few episodes back, I was talking about how you can write 10 bangers on a record, like 10 of the best songs ever. But if you write 10 of the best songs, out of those 10 songs, there's going to be one or two of those that are better than all the rest of those 10 songs. So it just doesn't matter how good your song is. Some of your songs are going to be better and some of your songs aren't. That's life. And that you can take everywhere in life. I truly believe that you have 10 kids, not all 10 kids are going to be good. There's going to be a bad egg in one of those 10 kids, at least one, if not more. You grab a dozen eggs, you could get lucky, but why do you check the egg carton before you leave the store? Because one might be cracked, one might be completely broken, and the yolk is everywhere. You just never know. Maybe it's just a hairline crack. Maybe it's just about to break. So you check it real quick, you take it home, you get it home, you open it up, it's broken. You're like, I checked, it wasn't broken, now it's broken. That's very real. So we got to check things. We got to make things happen. And when we have 10 of something good, there's always something, one or more of those things are going to rise to the top. The cream will rise. That's just life. That's just how it works. I don't make the rules. I just see them, try to break them. If it can't be broken, you got to adhere. Now, some rules are made to be broken, let me tell you. And when it comes to music, that's very true. And this rule could be broken. You could write 10 bangers that are all equally great. That's what I'm trying to do with this record. I'm trying to write a bunch of equally great songs, but they're not equally the same. There's some fast, there's some mid-tempo. There's some a little harder. There's some that are more soft and catchy. There's harder and catchy ones. I mean, so it's like I can't write the same exact song 10 times. It's just not working for me. So I think that's honestly probably the best thing for us all is the fact that I don't write 10 of the same songs. There's people out there going, dude, you've written the same 10 songs your whole life. Every song you write sounds the same. Whatever. Talk, whatever. Now, this is not for those people. This is for people that actually really get into punk rock, understand the nuance, understand mid-tempo for us might be faster than a mid-tempo pop song, you know, on your top 40 radio. Sure, I get that. But in the language of punk rock, we've got fast, we've got melodic, we've got fast and melodic, we've got pop, we've got mid-tempo. I mean, it all goes together pretty well. And, you know, you have a song that we've done in the past called Fist versus Tact. Very hard, very gritty punk song, right? You know, you got that, and you have like Move to Bremerton. 2 different albums, one album away. One's from Life in General, the other one's from Slowly Going the Way of the Buffalo, but both very popular albums, and both songs are popular. Move to Bremerton, huge song. Whenever we play that, people love it. Do we play that every show? No, we don't. We got to leave it out sometimes, but when we're in Bremerton, you know we played it. When we're in Seattle, usually we'll play it. It just, nowadays, it kind of depends. Now that we have all these stacks of songs, you kind of pick and choose each night what you might do. And of course, when you're focused on an album, you do some of the same songs every night. And you got to play some of the hits every night. So we got to do, you know, a punk rock show. We got to do Let's Ride, Stay Up All Night. We got to, you know, you get my drift, right? We got to do a Chick Magnet and I'm Okay, You're Okay. We don't even do I'm Okay, You're Okay every single show. We'll switch that out with a Heard That Sound. So similar song, not really the same song at all, from a different album, but both were singles, both were big songs. And so we feel like because they're a similar tempo, similar vibe, well, that's the moment you play this song in the set. And then the next night you switch it out with the other song and you play that song there. And then you get your moods similar and you can make your show happen, but you can still have something novel and have a different song or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 put into the set list every night. So that's how we do it. That's how I like to do it. And yeah, appreciate you. Dancehall Crashers, what's up? Shout out to the Dancehall Crashers. Love you guys. Love you ladies. And hope you do well. Hope you just continue busting it. And is there going to be new music from them though? That's asking a whole nother thing. Getting shows together is hard, especially if you're not a regular working band. It's hard for us, and we are a working band. So getting off the ground, doing shows, especially when you haven't done them in half a year, it's like getting the truck moving again. You got to get everybody pushed, get that momentum going. So on top of that, also doing new songs and a new album, that's a whole nother job, a whole nother life. And but if they do it, I'm definitely interested to hear what they come up with. All right, you guys, thanks for tuning into the podcast. Real quick, MxPx is going to be at a bunch of places. September will be Friday the 26th in Bend, Oregon at Century Center. Saturday, September 27th, Boise, Idaho, Treefort Music Hall. October, we're heading up north to Quebec City at Théâtre Capitole on October 24th. And then Montreal on Saturday, October 25 at MTELUS. I was just hanging out with the Simple Plan boys that came through Seattle, got to go up and sing I'm Just a Kid. Now that's in your head all day. And telling them, yeah, we got some shows. If you're around, come hang. They may or may not be done touring by then. I don't know. But told him we're going to be at MTELUS in Montreal. And he's like, yes, that's the venue for sure. That's a great spot. So looking forward to playing there. Haven't done it yet. And then a couple more shows. We got November, birthday month for me. Thursday, November 13th. Louisville, Kentucky at Mercury Ballroom. Friday, November 14th, St. Louis, Missouri at the Pageant. Saturday, November 15th, Fayetteville, Arkansas at JJ's Live. And then Sunday, November 16th, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma at Tower Theater. And then we do some things in December. May or may not have some announcements happening soon. But you know what's definitely happening? January, we're going to be in Vancouver, BC on Friday, January 9th at Commodore Ballroom, and then Seattle, Washington, Saturday, January 10th at the Showbox. Tickets are on sale for all of those right now. MxPx.com. Get the links there. If you're worried about links, you can always find the correct link at MxPx.com. We also have a bunch of merch up there, vinyl, t-shirts, hats. You know, you got to have hats. We got beanies, the whole deal. We appreciate you guys. Next week, if you're a hockey fan, you're going to love the episode. I've got Chad Olson from the Bremerton Sockeyes, my favorite new team. They haven't even started playing for the season yet, but I'm making plans to go see. You're going to hear all about it. So Chad Olson is on the next episode. All right, that's it. MxPx.com, y'all. Shout out to Bob McKnight. I love you, brother. Thanks for producing the podcast. Peace.